And we're live on YouTube. Happy Friday, everyone, or whenever you're watching this. I'm Peter Vaughn from Cardboard Alchemy, and we're doing another Cardboard Alchemy chat. We have this stream that we'd like to just cover our games that we're making, behind the scenes look into making a board game, making several board games. So if you catch this stream and you want to ask us any questions, could be about games. Probably it should be about games, but I'll answer anything, whatever. But we're going to have a Kickstarter that's gearing up right now. Plus, we've got Flamecraft new merchandise showing up in our online shop and Lucky Duck shop. And we've got Andromeda's Edge pieces that are getting produced right now. So there's always something to talk about. And I thought it would be fun to connect and get questions from the audience. So if you catch this and or you caught it after we were live, you can ask anything you want and we'll hit it in another stream. So the format of these is that first we'll do some announcements. Today, this week is really cool because Critter Kitchen launches on October 24th, and that is in maybe 2 days. It's getting there. It's getting really close. So one of the things that's happened is we've made this prototype. This is actually not the final box. This is a prototype box, but there's the chefs on the side there. Woo-hoo. Critter Kitchen. This box has just gone out to content creators and previewers, people who are going to cover it for the Kickstarter and take a look at it. Make sure that it's good. I mean, we think it's good, but of course it's fun to hear what other people think. We've already got one of them is already finished, actually. That's because time just goes faster in Australia. Thinker Themer have covered it and they've got a preview of it going up in mid-October. And then after that, right before the campaign, we're having something called PotionCon. We've talked about that on streams before. At PotionCon, all of the content will be technically available. So we'll have trailers and we'll have the how to plays and we'll have looks at the game, comparisons, all sorts of stuff. So anyway, Critter Kitchen, that component coming in, that's the announcement, is that if you're, some people want to play it. We also test it in Los Angeles. We tested in Texas, where we have Chris Strain, their developer. We've tested it in the UK. Today, I have with me Rosie Powell, our communications manager. Rosie is handling all your questions, and Rosie has just tested it earlier today. So we're having we do that. Part of the reason I'm doing the stream is, of course, to be able to share the process of how long it takes to make a board game or what parts of the process we're at. Hey, Casey Peterson, nice to welcome. Nice to see you. So basically, this is just an informal chat, but part of it also will be what phase we're at with different games. We may be seeing the first piece on Andromeda's Edge of something, or the final piece of something, and that's what I'll be sharing. The Stone Golem that's behind me gets their own game. Actually, that is a really good question. That's turned into a game. I don't know if anyone remembers our very first Kickstarter campaign, which was, hey, Ellie, it's nice to see you. Our first Kickstarter campaign was called Elements. It was our brand new welcome campaign. And we asked Sergio Chavez to illustrate this on 2 other pieces of art. And Brad and I, so Brad's my co-founder at Cardboard Alchemy, we were goofing around and we said, let's come up with a game idea for each one of these pieces of Sergio's art. It was not planned. And on a stream on a YouTube long ago, we said that this was a bag builder about these ancient golems that had fallen asleep in the forest. And then some people have said, I want to play that bag builder. And I believe on, thank you, the coasters were fun. So we have these on coasters already. But now we're starting to think about what this game is. And so actually Brad and Chris Strain, who's on our team, and Chris's partner, Aaron, are all designing a game called Whisperwood. And Whisperwood is going to be featuring the art back here. This is just one of the golems we're imagining. I talked a little bit about Whisperwood on Board Game Co's stream one time. It's still deep in design and development, but it's a fun thing that we're working on. And that'll make this particular piece of art come to life. That's exciting. But I do have some other components I want to talk about. And Ellie says, I will play any games that Sergio or Sandara does for art, which is very nice. They are amazing illustrators to work with. But since I brought up Critter Kitchen as sort of my announcement, I also want to show some pieces that were in that box because originally, show this is what the meeples look like. This is the these are the critters. You have a boar and a mouse and a lizard. I don't know what the lizard is right now, but I can show you. Actually, I'll bring in this lizard. This is what this prototype has on it. This is the first time we're seeing this. We actually now have silkscreen on these meeples, and so this is what they are going to be like for the game. So we've got these. Sadara drew these meeple shapes on there. It's kind of like we've decided to go a little bit like Dwellings of Eldervale with one single color. I really like that look. Focus here. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus, but we really like the look of that simple, clean, single color. There's a couple more over there. Let me get some all in here. Now, of course, my green screen might not be able to handle. We don't have green actually because there's another meeple in this game that's teal, and the green is so the green is not one of our primary player colors. Where's our purple? I mean, purple. Ellie's in the stream, so we have to have purple in here, right? Let's get purple. This game, the Bornicorn is what Ellie is calling it. Yes, Sadara for Critter Kitchen, she's doing a sort of a cross. You can see that this mouse is a mouse, but has has wings, has a hedgehog-like tail, or chip, some kind of a different creature. So she's doing a combination here of, it's not just like a mouse or a giraffe or a gorilla or something. You're going to see some hybrids, some fun playful hybrids. And we just had a stream where Sadara was drawing these live in our Critter Kitchen Facebook group. That was a really fun time. Rosie and Sadara were on, and they were just taking suggestions and drawing critters. So these represent the meeples that are your base chefs in the game. And of course, you can hire different meeples, different chefs, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about all those different characters that are in this game as we go. I can actually bring up some characters. Hey, Adriana, that's nice. I love the little mouse. That's actually really fun too. The whole fact that these that they stack, that they sort of have that there's a tactile thing there, and they because of that they have that nice size difference is important in the game, because you do have the mouse grabs first and goes fastest and is tiny, can only carry one thing, and that's important in the game. So that's actually why there's a good size difference. But I have some more Critter Kitchen things I can show. I actually have. I'm going to bring in some friends here. Let's get the Critter Kitchen logo on, and let's bring in. This is one of our celebrity. It's one of our celebrity critics. Whoops, we'll go that way. I gotta get used to my system here. But we also have this is the fruit bat, and these are critics in the game that Sadara drew. And every game that you play, you're going to be playing with one celebrity critic. Depends which one you want to play with. So these critics are going to change the rules of the game. For example, when you play with the mouse or the fruit bat or the kangaroo, there are different rules for the game, and that's going to determine what your mouse and boar and lizard, all the chefs that you hire, that's what they want to do. So, and Ellie says dibs on purple. Yeah, the fruit bat's one of my favorites. It's not a beginner critic, and so it's all about the wine. The fruit bat is, obviously, you can see by Sadara's art, it is going to give you the ability to serve a wine course with every single course you serve at the end, and get some fame for that. So you have to pair the wine perfectly with the food. So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, the critics are a lot of fun. We have so much art to share with you. I just wanted to do a little sneak peek of the prototype hit, which had come in. For example, let me take the fruit bat off and the kangaroo off. So we have these boards that are in the game. So like we've been sharing these on the Facebook group. This won't be the highest res for this stream, but like, for example, the Garden Top Shop is one of the locations that you could go to. Yes, my green screen's got to have a little bit of a problem here. But this is a great prototype. So what happens is when you go to a location is that you collect ingredients from that location. So for example, we're gonna go get either these 4 mushroom, or there's a 7 glass of wine, or this bread. This technically bread, but it's stale. I'm not sure the critic will want it. But you're going to grab these ingredients and try and beat the other chefs out for the best stuff to serve not only the final course, but also some challenges along the way. So that was our component sneak peek. Oh, actually, I have one more thing to show for components. And then we'll get into, and Woo Kim says the cardboard location tiles, the box is going to be heavy. I will say that the prototype is already hefty. It's great. It's so good. All right, I'm going to take the Critter Kitchen logo off and put the Flamecraft logo on because I have a guest. I have a guest in the studio today. I want to tell you about this guest. You see, well, it's a dragon, you know? This dragon is a new friend that Sadara shared during the live stream. This is the Crystal Dragon plush, which is coming to our Cardboard Alchemy shop in October. And this was we just revealed it because we've been revealing the Potion Dragon all this time, but the Crystal Dragon, not to be outdone, a lot of work had to happen here to get that stitching right and to get these little bracelets on there. So there was a lot for this dragon. It's got a nice, cute tail here. Big dragon tail. So anyway, this is the biggest one we've made yet. The Crystal Dragon will stand taller than the Potion Dragon. Let's get them all in here. Let's get all the friends in here. We can do it. I can do it. Hold on a second. Wait for it. We gotta do it. Come on, Bread Dragon. Let's go. I can't get them all to face the right direction though. Come on, Potion Dragon. We gotta do it. Let's do it. Bread Dragon's off on the At some point, when we make more of these, you're not going to be able to hold them all. I can barely hold them all. They're very cute. I'm so excited by these dragons. Oh my gosh. We never thought we'd be making plush dragons at this company, but those watching have spoken. We need more dragons, so these are fun. And Sadara, just so you know, the process of making the plush dragons, Sadara draws what's called an orthographic sketch. It is a drawing of the dragon in sort of an isometric 3D. It's orthographic means that you're covering it from all these different angles. So you've got the top, you've got the bottom, you've got the side. She does that, and then she also draws. She also picks out the Pantone colors. She indicates the sizes. She tells them how to stitch certain parts. And then we go into the process of the manufacturing plant goes back and forth over these plush. The initial ones are often derpy, and then we try and work that derp out by the time we get to the. I mean, they're still a little derpy, but you know, we get that reduced to some degree. So that was my Flamecraft logo. That was my announcement and fun component peaks. I'll be happy to take any questions, or we'll just chat about other things with Critter Kitchen or Flamecraft or Andromeda's Edge. It is also a Friday here. I don't know when you'll catch this, but of course it's a weekend of gaming. So if anyone wants to shout out what game they want to play, I'll talk about some games as well. Someone's saying adorable derby. Is Critter Kitchen going to include Flamecraft promos? I see that question. Critter Kitchen is not, because Critter Kitchen is its own world, and that means it's manufacturing from a plant, and all of those pieces are going to be put together, and the logistics of getting Flamecraft pieces in there is not something we want to get into. So the Flamecraft promos sort of have their own trajectory. They're going to have 4 releases. There's like new releases all year, and then the next opportunity to get Flamecraft united with other things is Flamecraft. So when we do another Flamecraft campaign, we will figure out how to get the promos to be aligned again. What that means is that if you're a promo chaser, you can get them now, or you can also wait. We're committed to making sure the promos come out at several times, so there's no like, oh my God, I'll never get this promo ever. We don't want that feeling. We don't like that ourselves, but we're gonna. But that's you have to wait a long time though if you want all the promos to come together, because the Kickstarter is a chance to bundle the promos and get like good shipping and good to everyone in the world, versus right now where if I ship something from Cardboard Alchemy Studios, it's as expensive as the post office. I mean, it's just like we don't get good rates. we get a special rate when we do Kickstarter. Someone say Casey is saying this weekend is Expeditions weekend. That's exciting. I actually really like Stonemaier games, and something that excites me about Expeditions is that Jamie often does videos like this, and he talks about his favorite mechanism, which I may do on some of these future streams. He'll take a game and he'll talk about how much he likes the mechanisms. And one of the mechanisms he cited that he really likes is in Dwellings of Eldervale, which is a game that I developed with Luke Laurie. And that mechanism is the fact that when workers come home and they pull back, they don't have a wasted turn. They actually do more interesting things when they pull back. And Jamie liked that so much that he decided to put that in Expeditions, and he cited that. It's really exciting to find another game developer has looked at your work. I mean, I didn't come up with the idea. It's Luke's idea, but it's still a really neat thing to have someone peer at something you did and say, that's really neat. I'm going to take that over here and use that. What games have you played? You know what I'm playing right now that I want to talk about is, I don't know if anyone's got Castles Burgundy, but there was that big Awaken Realms delivery. I'm still waiting to get my package, but I've been playing it online on BGA, if anyone's familiar with Board Game Arena. I have started to become really addicted to that game. At first I thought it was going to be too dry, and no offense, but Luke raves about Steffenfeld, and I was like, yeah, it's not this thematic and everything. I wasn't sure, but I really do like the push and pull of the dice gameplay, and it is a really good BGA mod. I will say, if anyone wants to play, I'm playing with some of the members of the Cardboard Alchemy Discord. Axel and I have been playing a couple games in a row. Will there be puns, references, or nods to gaming things in Critter Kitchen? And I will say the answer to that is 100% absolutely yes. Now, it's not the same design team, right? So it's Alex Cutler and Peter C. Hayward, but Alex and Manny feel like they could be like from the same family or something. They both are super into puns. And Brad, who works at Cardboard Alchemy, also loves puns. And when Brad gets involved, I can't stop it. I'm not necessarily I don't mind puns, but I would probably not go as overboard as Alex is like, I'm going to write all these puns. It's unbelievable. And Manny does the same thing with Flamecraft. So apparently, Cardboard Alchemy games may be punny, I guess. That is just what it is. We didn't put any puns in Andromeda's Edge because Luke is not. I mean, Luke is probably fine with a pun, but it's not like his main goal here. Pink Dragons. So Pink Dragons, you're talking about the mini, the little thing. It was a Kickstarter Cardboard Alchemy kind of exclusive, but we did have some extra, and so we've been selling those in our online shop, which we just made this year, by the way. This is a 2023 thing. We heard that people wanted more of the products, and we didn't really want those to sit like without a home, so we sold off the rest of our art books, and we sold whatever we had left of the Series 1 minis, and we still have some Pink Dragons though. We've actually been talking about whether or not to retire Series 1 when Series 2 comes out, because I don't know if you've heard the announcement. Wish I had like a slide ready to go, but there's a new Series 2 set of dragons. I have one here. Let's see. Is this going to be fine on the screen? Probably. So you see like this mini. It's probably even better if I'll bring it in like this, right? This is our Series 2 Red Dragon. And this series will have a Pink Dragon in it, because we've heard that there's just a lot of people who missed the Kickstarter or didn't at the time of the Kickstarter didn't realize that Pink Dragon was going to be so special. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the Series 2 minis have a Pink Dragon in there, so that whether you get Series 1 or not, you can get a Pink Dragon to go in your set. Also, we've confirmed that the set of minis, it's 7 minis, right? One for each of the artisans and the pink, will also come with, for a limited time, possibly. We're not sure how long, but like we wanted to make sure it also comes with a wooden Pink Dragon, meeple, and heart, which are not in the base game. And that way, if you're upgrading, but you still means you want to play pink, you got to have the pink card, right? So anyway, there is going to be access to pink dragons when the Series 2 minis come out. They will be in the Cardboard Alchemy shop and in the Lucky Duck shops. Now, Cardboard Alchemy has 2 shops, the UK and the US. The UK one serves the entire world as best we can, and then the Lucky Duck shops are in France, Poland, Italy, and the US. We got some game discussion. And Ellie points out that the pink dragon, by the way, was originally, if you do one of our puzzles, right before the campaign, we like to do these puzzles that are done by Rich Molina, and it's a fun way to just kind of get excited about the next game. And so Rich is doing puzzles right now for Critter Kitchen, and there's a prize for that, which is cookie cutters that are shaped like our chef meeples. And these are the way that we try and give you something fun for engaging and trying out the puzzles and learning about the game and talking to us. We want to make sure those are going to be on the campaign as well. So if someone comes around and they don't want to do a puzzle, totally get cookie cutters. But for anyone who does a puzzle, we have the pink dragon for Flamecraft. We have the cookie cutters for Critter Kitchen. Now, the other thing about these cookie cutters is we are sending them to a celebrity baker. We're sending the cookie cutters to Kim Joy because she's all excited. She's actually a really big fan of Flamecraft, and she heard about Critter Kitchen. We had a great chat at Comic-Con, and she's agreed to come onto our Potion Con. So she's going to join us for Potion Con, which is October 20th to the 22nd. And Kim Joy will be on the 21st, on that Saturday. And she's going to bake and use Critter Kitchen in her recipes, or somehow she's going to work these cookie cutters into the whole thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, and then we also have sent some cookie cutters to Rosie, who's on our team, who also happens to be pretty talented herself. So we'll have some fun and show off what those cutters could do. It's a lot of fun. We actually picked a style on those that's not a straight. It's not cutting just like one outline. It's actually stamping the meeple shape. So if you look at these, it's going to stamp something like that into the dough. It's a lot of fun. And we got Adriana says the puzzles are super fun, and thank you for that. We have a great time doing those, and we have 7 puzzles on Critter Kitchen. Rich is having a blast writing all 7. What I like to see the most about that is that when someone tries to solve one and is stuck, and another member of our Discord community or our Facebook community comes along and says, I can give you a hint, I'll help you. And I love to see that stuff. That's the perfect kind of game interaction you want anyway. So that's really neat. Oh, here's a question. How many people need to be working full-time on a project so it could go smoothly? There's that last bit of so it could go smoothly that's kind of the catch in there, because technically speaking, you can do it by yourself. It's a lot harder. But I will just sort of back up and say that there are a lot of designers in the industry, a lot of designers, artists, graphic designers, developers in the industry that actually do this as not their full-time job. They just are passionate about making a game. In fact, Luke Laurie, one of the designers we work with, is a full-time science teacher. Day in and day out, he's teaching science, which fits. He's really good at it. But before science, he was actually a government. And believe it or not, he then, he cooks himself a nice dinner, and he's got a glass of whiskey or something, and then he's still working on the next game. And so, I think that to back up on this question a little bit, how many people does it take working full time? Well, it's very hard to figure that out, because if Luke was a publisher, say, it would just take him a long time. But Luke has often said he knows he doesn't have time for the freight conversations and the shipping conversations and the back and forth with artists and so forth. So he just focuses on the one part that he knows he can get done really well, which is design. And then he gives that to Cardboard Alchemy, and then we spend as much time as we can on it to perfect it and develop it and turn it into the product that it is, so like we're doing right now with Andromeda's Edge. When we started this company, it was just Brad and I, and we didn't have anyone else. And so I would spend I'm very lucky to have this as a full-time job. I would spend all day on it. So I guess you could say it is possible to do it with 1 or 2 people. And that's how we made Mission Catastrophe with just 1 or 2 people. We made Flamecraft with just 1 or 2 people on this staff. Since Flamecraft, though, we've decided we want to make more games and faster, so we've added Rosie, Lauren, Chris, and Judy, and Dwayne. That we've added some people to give us that ability to get more graphic design, more production, more customer service. In fact, you only need 1 or 2 because you could do everything. But if you end up having, say, Flamecraft had 30,000 backers, thank you for that. That required a lot of customer service tickets. Brad and I started to drown a little bit in that, but it was fun. I mean, it was an honor to have that many people passionate about dragons. So that's actually when we brought on Judy to answer questions for everybody. And thank you for that. She is a star. She's answered every single Flamecraft question that's ever come up. It was, and Ellie says it was a bonkers campaign, and it was a bonkers campaign. And how exciting to be part of a bonkers campaign. We normally love crowdfunding at this company because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. You put up an idea primarily to find out if it's a good idea, if the community wants that idea, if the game has interest, if it hasn't been done before, or whatever. I mean, actually, when I talked to Sandara, she has run a Kickstarter before, and she ran one for a mini, and it didn't have a lot of backers, and so she said, "No, I don't think there's a lot of people who want these dragons." And I said, "I don't know that we've. I wouldn't rule this out. Let's try it. Let's show them what these dragons could be doing, and show these pieces of art." And Manny and Brad and I were cooking up this town, and she found out that it was a shock to find out how many people wanted to be part of it. But I guess it's not a shock anymore because I've seen it. Someone finds the game and they're just charmed with, like we were, like everyone seems to have been about these little tiny dragons. I mean, seriously. Will there be a set of cookie cutters going out to any of the insane cookie cutter decorators you see online? We at the moment we're sending them to Kim Joy because I think it's going to be it's really fun to see what she does. Afterwards, after this campaign comes out, you know who I want to see the cookie cutters from? I want to see the audience. I want to see Social Store. I want to see your cookies. I want to see anyone who gets these. I want to see the creative ideas that this community has. Because one of the things we're going to be doing on Critter Kitchen, just like we do for every campaign, is we're going to have fun with the social goals, with the community building, and we're going to ask for names and suggestions, and we're going to ask for you to decorate your critters at home and also make some food, and let's just see what everyone does. Yeah, and not just cookies, right? Thank you, Rosie, for pointing that out. These things will leave an impression in anything. So we could have some contest down the road of like, show us the most creative use of these cutters. Snickerdoodles, that's good stuff. I do like food. My first game was What the Food? I don't know if everyone's ever heard of it. It was a cafeteria food fight to the death. There was so much food in there, and a buddy of mine was drawing the art. It was Sebastian Duclos. He worked at Nickelodeon at the time, and then he worked at Disney. I worked at Disney, and so he was drawing. I told him there was a lot of food in that game. He was drawing all these characters like in high school, and they were throwing the food, and there was all these like close-ups of the different food, hundreds of food. And I'm such a foodie, and I was working at Breaking Games, and I wanted to sign another game about food, and I was like, if I sign another food game, it's gonna be like, oh, Peter just makes food game. So it's kind of funny that I was thinking about this the other day. In Flamecraft, there's a piece of bread. Of course, there's a little toast. We have toast. We have toast. Obviously, there's a little toast. Right? There's a little toast. And then in Critter Kitchen, there's bread because there's a different kind of reason for that. So there's been food in 2 of our games at least. Mission Catastrophe had potatoes. Actually, we've had food in 3. If I just can cram some food in Andromeda's Edge in space somewhere, I think we'll be. Ooh, that'd be really neat. See, this is gonna be so much fun when we're gonna see what people do with these cookie cutters. CK and boss character. That's gonna be great. I think this is gonna be neat. Oh, look at that top day. I love hobbits. There's a I said this to Rosie, but I don't know if I've told people, but the reason why I made Dwellings of Eldervale is because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I wanted a game where you had Gandalf and a Balrog. That's what I really wanted. Because I play a lot of different games. I'm definitely an omnivore, so I will take anything. I mean, I love even abstracts for what you can get out of them sometimes. But after enough farming games, you're like, can we get one about like a Balrog or something? Seriously. Oh, Ellie was talking about if those are the giant components. I mean, the difference in bread size. I'll put this over here because I think we still have this on. This is the this is the small one, and that's the big one. Do I have any other ones around here? I think I have the meat. I don't know if that's going to show. Let's see. The big men. And there's the original. Now, some of these have actually had some fixes to them from the samples I have in here. But in general, we are making jumbo-sized toast now for the celebration of Series 2 pieces coming out. So maybe we'll end it here because Celestial Store says second breakfast time, and I do believe that I haven't had my second breakfast since it's Hobbit Day. Let's just call it. I'll go get some more food. We've been talking about all this food in Critter Kitchen, and now I'm hungry, as everyone will be when they play the game. And we have our 2 food dragons here celebrating, and we'll go get some food. But I really appreciate everyone joining the stream. If you have any questions that you didn't see answered, please send us a message. We're happy to chat on Discord, Facebook, here on YouTube. You can comment on this video, and we'll answer those in a future stream. And Rosie's put up the link for our next Kickstarter. Critter Kitchen is launching October 24th. We hope you'll be there. Cardboard Alchemy is going to put on a fun show for you and give you our next really awesome new game from designers Alex Cutler and Peter C. Hayward, and illustrated by Sandara Tag, of course. Ooh, 5,000 people are following, almost 5,000. So if you're not following the Kickstarter, help get to that number because that's a super celebration. We love that. 5,000 people ready to knock on the door and come in, and that feels like a Hobbit party. Actually, that's like, that's what's it's going to be like. We're going to put out the cheese and the bread and the meat and all that stuff, and just the dwarves. Everyone's going to come in. We'll try to make sure there's enough for everybody. And thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. Cheers. Until next time. Game on.